Every winter, one stretch of Interstate 80 in California swallows cars whole. It traps drivers for hours, buries their vehicles up to the windows, and every few years it kills someone. It sits just over 7,200 feet up in the Sierra Nevada, and it has been killing travelers in almost the exact same spot since 1846. Most people know it as Donner Pass, the place a group of pioneers got stranded and ended up eating their own dead to survive. What almost nobody realizes is that the mountain never stopped. The reason it killed then is the same reason it kills now, and it has nothing to do with bad luck. It starts with where this pass sits. The Sierra Nevada is the first tall wall that storms coming off the Pacific slam into after crossing hundreds of miles of open ocean. Those storms arrive soaked, carrying rivers of moisture in the sky. And when they hit the granite face of the range, they have nowhere to go but up. As the air climbs, it cools, and all that water falls out as snow. The mountain does not just get storms, it manufactures them, ringing every Pacific system drew right over the top of the road. Some of these storms hit so hard the sky produces thunder and lightning while it snows, a rare thing most people will never see in their lives. The numbers this produces are hard to believe until you see them measured. A few minutes off the Interstate 80 exit sits the Central Sierra Snow Lab, a research station that has been counting snow at this spot since 1879, one of the longest hand-kept snow records anywhere on Earth. The snow here was so far past what anyone expected that the railroad crews, who first punched a line over the summit, ended up building miles of wooden sheds over the tracks just to keep the trains from being buried alive. The lab's average is roughly 30 feet of snowfall a year at the summit. Not 30 inches. 30 feet. And in a bad week, it is logged over 9 feet in 5 days. But the raw total is not even the part that kills drivers. The dangerous part is what kind of snow it is. Up here, the temperature during a storm tends to sit right around freezing, not far below it. That one detail changes everything. Cold, dry snow falls light and fluffy. Snow that falls near 32 degrees comes down wet and heavy, so dense that locals have a name for it. They call it Sierra cement. It packs down into something closer to ice than powder, and it is brutal on everything it touches. Plow drivers up here regularly break parts of their rigs trying to shove it off the road. Now put that same wet paste under your tires. The road over Donner climbs and drops on a grade that runs as steep as 6% for miles at a time, and thousands of big rigs cross the summit every single day hauling freight between California and Nevada. Then add the wind. Gusts on the pass can reach 80 to 90 miles an hour during a storm, and when that wind picks up the loose snow, visibility drops to almost nothing. Drivers describe going from seeing the road fine to seeing a gray wall in front of the windshield in a matter of seconds. Heavy trucks, a slick sheet of packed snow, a long downhill grade, and a sudden whiteout are the exact ingredients for the thing that actually racks up the body count here. The chain reaction pileup. These are not rare. One storm turned into a wreck involving around 40 vehicles and 6 big rigs near Yuba Gap, and a man in his 60s died in it. Another crash near Immigrant Gap started as a simple 2-car collision and cascaded into 16 vehicles, killing one driver. And here's the cruel twist. A lot of these pileups happen right after the highway patrol orders chains, because that is the moment everyone slows down and stops in the worst possible place. Which brings us to a danger most people never think about. When chain controls go into effect, drivers have to pull onto the shoulder, get out of the car, and kneel down by their tires to wrap the chains on. Picture doing that in a whiteout, with big rigs still moving through the same lanes you were crouched beside. The person outside the vehicle, on their knees in the snow, is one of the most exposed people on that entire mountain. It is an ordinary task, and on Donner Pass it is genuinely one of the ways this road kills. The mountain also does not respect the calendar. Snow has shut down Interstate 80 over Donner as late as May and as early as the last full day of summer in September. That is what catches so many people. They cross in spring or early fall dressed for warm weather, with no chains in the trunk and no water in the car, because in their mind the danger season is over or has not started yet. The past does not care what the date says. When a cold system swings through, it can drop several feet on travelers who packed for a completely different trip. There is one more way the snow itself can reach the road. It can slide. The same wet, heavy snow that packs into the pavement also loads the slopes above the highway, and when it lets go, it comes down as an avalanche. Slides have buried nearby mountain roads under 8 feet of snow at a time. And in one incident near Donner Pass, a man was killed after being buried for more than 4 hours. And this highway is cut straight into a steep mountain face, sitting right below all of it. But the deadliest part of Donner is not the crash or the slide, it is what happens after the road closes. When conditions get bad enough, this is not a lane or two shutting down. Officials have closed a 100-mile stretch at a time, from Colfax all the way to the Nevada line. And drivers caught inside that closure have been stuck for 6 to 10 hours with the snow still falling. In one night, so many cars were abandoned over Donner Summit that emergency crews needed hours just to reach the people still inside them. So while they wait, people do the natural thing. They keep the engine running for heat. And that is where a killer almost nobody warns you about comes in. If snow piles up behind the car and blocks the tailpipe, the exhaust has nowhere to escape, so it backs up into the cabin. That exhaust is carbon monoxide, a gas you cannot see, smell, or taste. In one study, researchers buried a running sedan in snow to test exactly this. With the windows shut, carbon monoxide reached lethal levels inside the car in 2.5 minutes. Here's the part that surprises even careful people. They found that quickly brushing the tailpipe clear was not enough, and even digging out a 1-foot pocket of snow around it was not enough. The gas still climbed to dangerous levels. The only thing that dropped it to zero was clearing a full open path from the tailpipe all the way down to the bare ground. If we are ever stranded up there and running the engine to stay warm, that single fact is the difference between waiting out a storm and never waking up from it. Now look back at 1846. When the Donner Party got trapped, they were caught a few miles from where drivers strand on the interstate today, at nearly the same elevation, by the same wet Pacific snow falling faster than anyone expected. Nothing about the mountain has softened in the years since. It gets the same storms, makes the same heavy snow, and drops it on the same summit. The only thing that changed is that we ran a major interstate straight over the worst of it and started sending millions of people through every winter. Most of them from lowland cities where snow is a novelty. The mountain did not become more dangerous. We just built a road across its most dangerous ground and told ourselves it was tamed. So if a storm is in the forecast and the route runs over Donner, the move is simple. Check the road status before leaving, not on the mountain. Carry chains and actually know how to put them on before you need them in a whiteout. Keep the tank full and pack water, food, and a blanket. And if you ever end up stopped and buried with the engine running, get out and clear that tailpipe down to the ground. This pass has been beating unprepared travelers for 180 years, and the storms that trapped the first of them are still rolling in off the Pacific every winter, right on schedule.